you may have one EA that's doing only 3 clients, but then you'll have maybe, let's say, 10, 20, 30, 40 EAs at scale. And you're talking about you're only eating 20% off top. I mean, you're doing a multiplication play, right? The more EAs that you have that are doing great work over a period of time, you can scale that, and it's infinitely you can scale it. There's no real limitations or cap. So let's talk about like the structuring like of your business. Are you more so kind of like a LLC, a S-Corp, a C-Corp? Like what flavor are you?
Actually, that's a pretty interesting question. Last year, we transitioned from an LLC to an S-Corp.
Okay.
And the reason we did that was because we got to a size where basically, if you're an LLC, then this is not legal advice, so don't take it as legal advice. But from our perspective, we looked at our business. We said, look, we're an LLC. We're paying FICA on all of our money coming through. And so, Mark Kohler is this accountant on the internet who I watched a ton of his stuff. And then I started talking to attorney friends of mine and accountant friends of mine. And they're like, yeah, you transition to an S Corp, you pay you and your wife a W-2. And then after that is taken out, you're only paying your income tax on the pass-through money as opposed to FICA on all of it. It also gave us an opportunity to start a solo 401k, even though, well, you can start a solo 401k on an LLC as well, and and grow your retirement
Mhm.
in a significant way. So we made that transition last year, and so now we're Pro Assisting Inc. as opposed to an LLC, and a little bit more hoops to jump through.
Mhm.
Something I think you want to do when you start getting to a revenue level and an EBITDA level where it makes sense, and you have some money to actually do the process. It's not hugely expensive, but just some things to think about. When I think about our remote executive assistants who are independent contractors and we work them through that process,
Mhm.
the LLC is the best way to go initially. And it's very easy, it's very inexpensive to, even if you're living in a state like New York, you're still probably only paying $300 to get an LLC up and running. Um, and so that's another part of our business where I do a lot of coaching with our assistants on how to work through that, how to account for taxes, what are business expenses. Again, not as accounting advice, but just things that they need to keep track of and ask their accountant so they're staying on top of their business. Um, I think for me being an entrepreneur, it was very exciting.
Yeah.
But for a normal person who's a W-2 employee, considering making the transition to their own business, it can be very intimidating. And it's not hard. It's just you have to learn and understand the process. What's interesting is that we are starting to seriously think this year about starting a side of our business that focuses on our assistants and training
Mhm.
assistants how that would look in terms of taking their trade of being an assistant and starting a business. And the best thing, we didn't throw a dart into the dartboard and say, which is the best business to start. We started with a business that both Stephanie and I were experts in and
Mhm.
lived for 28 plus years, 25 plus years. And so many people I think don't recognize how valuable their W-2 job is from the perspective of someone outside looking in,
Mhm.
and how to either productize that or make it a service that can be almost profitable from day one.